You think you learn from your mistakes. But let's be honest, most of the time you just repeat them. A little smarter, you tell yourself, I won't do that again, and yet somehow you end up back in the same place, just with better excuses, better logic, and a better story to justify it. That's not growth. That's repetition wearing a disguise. See, people love to say failure is the best teacher, but that's only half the truth. Failure can teach you if you're willing to actually learn. Most people aren't. Most people only get better at avoiding blame, not better at changing behavior. So let's talk about it. Why do we keep making the same mistakes? Why does life keep repeating the same lessons until it hurts enough to wake us up? And how can you finally break that cycle before regret becomes your lifestyle? Because here's the truth. Life will repeat the same test until you pass it. And if you're tired of living the same year over and over again, this one's for you. Here's what people don't realize. You don't learn from the mistake itself. You learn from what you do after it. Imagine this. You trust someone completely, they betray you, and you swear you'll never trust anyone again. But months later, you meet someone new and you fall into the same pattern. Fast trust, no boundaries, same heartbreak. You think you learned something, but all you really did was build a wall, not wisdom. Real learning doesn't make you colder, it makes you clearer. Every mistake has two layers. The event and the pattern behind it. Most people fix the event. They change the job, the partner, the environment, but they never fix the pattern. And that's why it comes back, wearing a different face. Let's talk about the first truth. Number one, you can't learn if you're busy defending your ego. Every mistake bruises your pride, and what do most people do? They protect the ego first, not the lesson. They say things like, it's not my fault, or I didn't have a choice, or I'll do better next time, without really asking why it happened this time. Here's the problem. Your ego doesn't want the truth. It wants comfort, and comfort kills growth. If you keep defending your actions instead of dissecting them, you'll never see the real reason behind your mistakes. The fastest way to grow is to say, okay, maybe it was my fault. What can I do differently next time? It's not about guilt, it's about ownership, because ownership is where growth begins. Second truth. You don't fail because you didn't try hard enough. You fail because you didn't reflect long enough. After every mistake, people rush to move on. They distract themselves, scrolling, working, pretending they're fine. But reflection is where the real learning happens. Think about it. When you touch a hot stove, your brain doesn't just say, ouch. It stores that memory so you don't do it again. But with emotional mistakes, trust, love, bad habits, you touch the stove, get burned, and then go right back. Why? Because you never pause long enough to understand the burn. Reflection isn't overthinking, it's observation. You look at your choices without judgment and ask, what was I trying to feel? What did I ignore? What lesson is life trying to teach me here? Write it down. Say it out loud. Talk to someone you trust. Because the moment you can explain your mistake, you take away its power to repeat. Third truth, the lesson keeps showing up until you change how you react. Life has this funny way of testing you with the same type of people, the same problems, the same temptations. Just in different forms. You'll keep running into the same energy until you finally respond differently. Let's say you always fall for people who give you attention but no respect. It's not bad luck, it's a pattern, and patterns break only when you do something different. Growth doesn't mean avoiding pain. It means responding to it better. It means saying, this looks familiar. Last time I ignored the red flags. This time I'll listen. That's learning. That's evolution. Because every mistake is a mirror, and if you don't like what you see, the answer isn't to break the mirror. It's to change what it reflects. Fourth truth, you don't grow from avoiding mistakes. You grow from analyzing them without shame. We're taught to hide our failures, to act like we've always had it together. But that's not strength, that's fear in disguise. True maturity is being able to say, yeah, I messed up, but I'm learning. Every successful person you admire has a trail of bad decisions behind them. They just didn't let the regret freeze them. They used it as fuel. When you stop being ashamed of your mistakes, you start using them. You turn regret into data. You turn failure into feedback. And slowly, you start building wisdom that actually sticks. Here's what it all comes down to. You're not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be aware. You don't need to avoid mistakes. You just need to stop repeating them out of denial, fear, or pride. If you can face your past without excuses, reflect without judgment, and act differently when life tests you again, that's when you've truly learned. Mistakes aren't a curse, they're a compass. They don't define you, they direct you. So the next time you fall, don't rush to get back up and pretend it didn't happen. Pause. Look around. Ask yourself what life is trying to teach you. Because if you don't learn the lesson, the universe will just hit repeat. And if this message hit you a little harder than you expected, good. That means part of you knows it's time to break the cycle. So here's your challenge. Think of one mistake you keep repeating. Write down what it's trying to teach you and how you'll respond differently next time. If this video helped you see things clearer, share it with someone who needs to hear it too. And if you're ready to start turning your pain into progress, hit that like button and subscribe, because we've got a lot more truth coming your way. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stop repeating the same mistakes smarter.